So I apologize for the noise in advance. Pretty sure you hear it. There's a guy that's taking down some trees. We recently had like this hurricane, mini hurricane, and the trees came down, kind of like in a divider between me and my neighbor's property on the bushes. A big tree split, and since he was taking that one down, we uh, we wanted him to take our other one down as well. So he's doing that. He's been by himself. It's been taking him a few days, but I've been respecting him, man, because he's a real man. He out there doing it by himself. He has a tree company, but it's hard for him to find good help. Thinking about maybe interviewing him and look for that video. I may interview him because that's a real man, full of testosterone and low estrogen out there in the heat. In these days, cutting down the trees, cutting down the branches rather, so he can get to cut down the tree. And he's been that's his wood chopper you hear in the background. And yeah, he's making trips. So I mean, shout out to him. Maybe a video coming soon. But anyways, with that being said, just want to talk about gang violence, man. And there was never a war on drugs. For those people who didn't know, I'm just gonna talk and have a conversation. Yeah, man, like Bloods and Crips, like one of the main two gangs that we know. Haven't liked each other for years and still may not like each other. I know there's a lot of peace in certain countries, a lot of peace, and but besides that, just the true starting of the gang violence in general is just stupid, man. Because we bleed blue and our bruises are black and blue. So, and at the end of the day, we all come from the same man. We're all one. We're cast, our ancestors, you could say, were cast away and learned different languages, and then after the Great Flood, continents broke away and they separated, and that's how you have different cultures after the Great Flood, and that's why you have all these different continents. But we all are the same. We all are one. We all come from the same God. Man as man, and woman was created in our image, So with that being said, man, it's just crazy. It's stupid. Just like off of history. A lot of gang violence is off of history, because something happened to, the big homie, or something happened to their cousin, or their former member is gone in retaliation, and that just keeps going and keep going. You have new members, new gang members every day that join, and they're just, pretty much making their enemy, whoever the gang they just joined a part of, says is the enemy. They just doing without will, pretty much. And that's really how it goes. A lot of people are beefing and shooting and doing time in prison for killing men that they personally had no problems with, no direct issues with. They just knew they were in a different gang, and they had to kill them, whether Blood, Crib, Latin King, whatever it was, whatever it is. And it's really sad. It really is. Because you're technically killing your own brother. You don't even realize it. You think just because his skin color is different, because it's lighter than yours or darker than yours, and he speaks a different language than you, and he's in a different gang than you, that you just automatically have to just take out his life, just end his life, just like that. Shout out to all the former gang members that are speaking out, that are trying to help the youth. Shout out to them that found a way. It's sad that a lot of them have, hurt a lot of families, hurt a lot of mothers, and have taken lives as well. Done some serious hard time and came out, and now they're trying to help. Shout out to them for helping, but they never should have been a part of the gang and taking lives in the first place, because they were fighting a war that was just based on history. A lot of people just stuck in history, like slavery. The whole reparations things that be going on, man. Like, I get what happened. I get how slavery is completely messed up, but we are living in a different time. Everybody is a slave nowadays if they choose to be. Back then, of course, melanated people had no choice. But today you have Caucasian people that are slaves. You have Spanish people that are slaves. You have melanated people that are slaves. You have Indian people that are slaves. You have Chinese people that are slaves. Slave to what? Slave to modern day society. Whether that's to money, whether that's to fame, success, lust, whatever it is. People have a choice to be slaves nowadays. You're not forced to be a slave. Even mentally you have a choice whether you want to be a slave. And you know what that choice is? Bringing up slavery, wanting reparations, bringing up how your cousin got killed by the other gang and you got to get payback, or it took out one of your homies in the former gang and you got to get payback. We can't be doing that. And again, I know this is gonna fall on a lot of deaf ears. And if you're not a gang member or you never been in that gang life, you know this video may not be for you. Like I said, this is just a conversation, man. Because I know how it is. For dudes that are really just set on taking out their ops, like they don't want to hear nothing. You can't tell them nothing. It don't matter what I say. It don't matter what a family member says. They don't even listen to their own mother. They don't listen to their mother. They don't listen to their uncle. They don't listen to their big brothers. They just listen to the big homie. And it's crazy, man. It's really sad. It really is. It really, really is, man. I feel like a lot of these dudes out here, they weren't raised this way. They weren't meant. You know how some people say or think that people are just meant to be the way they are. A lot of these dudes weren't meant to be that way. They're really not. A lot of them were just followers, and a lot of them, all it took was one time. And after that one time, they just got addicted to it. Some dudes get addicted to the rush, man, of taking a life, of jumping somebody, of just being a part of a gang. But again, you're hurting your own brother, because we all come from the same one God. We do. You know, I realized the other day, some Albanians, you know, because I work with Albanians, and some of their language is similar to Spanish language, like Puerto Ricans. And if you really do your research and you really dig deep to the actual language, they all tie in together as from the same, coming from the same one. Do your research. I'm not just making this up. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about that, man. People don't want to do research. People don't want to dig deep. They just want to keep the hatred in their heart and keep it going. Hatred is taught. A lot of people are taught this stuff. Again, it's history. Oh, your cousin. Oh, they killed your uncle. Oh, this rival gang. Your uncle was a black disciple. Your great granddaddy. You come from a line of Crips. You come from a family of blood, so you automatically have to be a blood. Type of stuff like that. That's how a lot of dudes end up crashing out and being a part of gangs and end up in gang violence because they were born into it. History just be repeating itself. Now, as far as the war on drugs, man, like I said, there was never a war on drugs. You got to do your research. It's a love-hate relationship with me being from Connecticut, man. Growing up in New Haven, the streets of New Haven. Moving out of New Haven to the suburbs and coming back. And it being worse. Yale, New Haven University, Skull and Bones. George Bush, man. George Bush was working with Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was an ally. You know why? Opioid. And you know where they told you, gave you an example? American Gangster. If you've never seen American Gangster played by Denzel Washington, there's something wrong with you. Go ahead and watch that movie. And they're going to show you. They're going to give you an example. They're not going to tell you the same location. They're going to say China, Korea rather. But as far as opioids, the real opioid crisis, it was coming from Afghanistan, man. And Osama bin Laden was working with George Bush, who went to Skull and Bones from Yale New Haven University. These people are evil, man. There was never a war on drugs. Imagine picture a wife and her husband's in the army and he's going to Afghanistan to fight in the war. And on his way back, they're removing drugs out of his casket, out of his body. Yes. No cap. They put that in American Gangster too. But it was Korea. Because he was selling like crack cocaine? We talking about opioids right now though. They were working with him. And then when they couldn't use them no more, they disposed of them. They tried to dispose of them. But he was hard to catch. He kept escaping. Because they wanted the oil. Once they had gained control over the opioids, they wanted the oil. So they was like, oh, we have no use for him no more. They cut his funding. They played dirty, man. They treated him like a friend, befriended him, and then they cut him. They cut him off. It was dirty. They use and abuse until they have no more use for you. They dispose of you. That's how America is. That's how America treated Osama bin Laden. So imagine how they treat any government official like presidents. Imagine what they think of presidents. And people keep talking about policies. You're not going to hear about policies because they don't have to talk about policies. Just don't vote. That's the best thing you could do, like I said in all my videos. Tons of melanated men locked up for drugs, for selling drugs, selling opioids. 10, 20 years. Some throwing a book at you, depending on how long you've been doing it, how many people you've been doing it, where your location was, if it was in a school zone. Blah, 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 blah. If it turned into a high-speed chase or whatever else. If you were considered running a drug factory. But they were transporting drugs in soldiers' bodies. They had soldiers dedicating their life, putting their life on the line, knowing their families, their whole families, if they have children, wives, moms, big families that love and care about them, know that what they're out there doing, going over to Afghanistan. And you have the nerve of you to be shipping their bodies back with drugs inside. How disgusting. And the families, the wives, the families, they don't even know this. But this is America. This is why I don't respect people, especially whatever, Caucasian, where they're gonna do what they want. But melanated people, I don't respect melanated people who be going to war, man. Fighting in the war. Don't ever fight in the war. And if they ever make it a thing, because I read something about it, I don't know how true it is, if it's gonna come to play. If they ever make it a thing where they want young men to go into service at a certain age, you have to go into service. You do like Muhammad Ali did. Lock me up. Lock me up. I'll do my time. I'm not fighting in no war. See, Muhammad Ali was ahead of his time. He knew. He knew he was fighting in a senseless war. A war where he had no serious personal vengeance or issues with people in those countries. Muhammad Ali knew we all were one. He wasn't stupid. But you got to realize that too. You got to realize that too, man. Because it's all a setup. I grew up with plenty of dudes in New Haven that were selling drugs. Selling the government's drugs. So look at that. Look at that, how they were working with Osama bin Laden, getting the opioids here. And then putting it on the streets. Because melanated people don't own any ships or planes to get it over here. So how was it getting here? They tell you, they put it right in front of your face. They put it in movies. They put it in TV shows. And you was like, oh, you're so stupid. You'd be like, oh, they would never expose how they really do that. Yes, they would. They hide it right in plain sight. Because they know you're not going to do anything about it. You're going to keep selling drugs. You're going to keep supporting people who pop pills. Because you got to be messed up, right? You got to have your lean. You got to have your opioids. It's disgusting. It's disgusting how people help the government kill people, drug people up. It really is. Gang violence is disgusting, how you help the government lock people up, kill melanated people. For what? You're helping them with the population control. That's what it all is. All them bringing drugs here, everything is for population control, to bring down the numbers. They want a new world order. They don't want melanated people here. They don't want poor people here. They look down on all of us. So if you're stupid enough to vote, be stupid enough to vote. But just know how stupid you are, how stupid you look. Being a sheep. Stop being a sheep. If you've been voting for years, to say this year, I'm not going to vote because both candidates. Kamala Harris, we already talked about her. And then you got Trump, man, the Antichrist. Oh, I need my Christians to go out there and vote, but I'm not Christian, though. You still going to vote for a man that says that even though you're a Christian just because you worried about this? Didn't God tell you money, worship and money is the root to all evil? I don't care about no damn Trump and how good it was when he was in office. I don't care. I put my faith in God. Can't put my faith in no president, no mayor in my town or in the town I live in, no governor. They're gonna do things that I'm against. They're human. And that is God's problem. Man is imperfect. Man is always going against God. That is the real reason here. If you still here, thank you, man. I'm not done. I'm cooking. I gotta go soon, but I'm still cooking, man. Because man, God always has had an issue with man because man would always go against what God told him to. That's why we have the disasters, the hurricanes where people's houses are being swept away. People are dying and look what happened in New Orleans years ago. What happens in Florida? Everything swept away, all your material, your boats, everything you spent all this money for. Your houses, your homes, your businesses. Tornadoes, hurricanes, destroying people's property because God is pissed because man is still doing what man wants to do. Man is not walking in God's light, in God's honor, in God's image. Man is not walking in God's image. Man is hard-headed. It's not just about you and me. It's bigger than us. It's the dudes with the billions of dollars that are really controlling the world, running things, running the media. You can't just say, oh, I know people are evil. It is what it is. No. Got to stand up. We got to take a stand. Stop being sheep, man. Got to stop being sheep, man. We got to take a stand for real, for real. The time is now to take a stand and wake up, man. And see why everything is happening. Why the situations you're in is what you're in. Why we're seeing all this violence, man. Why people are senseless killing people, robbing people. Why you can't travel and feel safe anymore. Because God is angry. Because man is doing what man wants to do and God is angry about it. So when you see the disasters going on, the tropical disasters and stuff like that, and people's homes are being destroyed, people are being RIP'd, it's because God is angry. He's angry with man. The men that are really running things and controlling things, man. Until man gets it together, until man loves his brother, no matter the color, then world's gonna. We don't know when the world's gonna end, but man, history repeats itself. The Great Flood, man. Imagine another Great Flood. Imagine, because God feel like it's God's time to restart and recreate. Could you blame him? Would you blame him? Would you blame God? How would you feel? Would you blame God if he created another great flood and everything we all wiped away, we're gone? Would you blame him? Because look at man. Look at how man is running the world right now. Look at the decisions, the higher ups. It's sick. It's disgusting. Peace and love, y'all.